The movie starts with a woman named Jess narrating, asking a question. She says, "They say when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. But if you can control that flashback and live in the moment again, would you change things?" She sees a strange entity in the hallway. We're then taken to a park bench where Jess is telling her best friend she's been seeing a creature from a childhood television show they used to watch called Dr. Bones. Her friend thinks she's joking.
You're with me.
Later that night, Jess is preparing for bed with her live-in boyfriend Scott, who plans to propose to her that evening. He asks, "Why do we have Vulture Man in here every night?" She says it's Dr. Bones and it makes me feel safe. He says that thing would be better in a nursery surrounded by other toys, hinting that he wants to have children, and she says she's ready. He starts to get the ring to propose and they hear a noise downstairs. She sends Scott to investigate. She hears a gunshot and goes looking for Scott and finds his body on the staircase landing. The intruder apologizes and says he came at me and then shoots Jess. Her life flashes before her eyes. She tells herself to slow down and control her breathing. The flashback stops when she's at her 13th birthday party and she's in control. She says, "Dad, I've been shot." She tries to explain how she and Scott were murdered in a home invasion. Suddenly, a young Scott walks by. She runs to him, gives him a big hug, and tells him she just saw him dead, and says he has to stay away from her because 12 years from now, if they're still together, they both die. He says you're being weird and goes to play laser tag. She looks for him, and when she finds him, Dr. Bones appears, and she says, "No, not yet," and tells him, "You have to promise never to speak to me again, and if we get into a relationship, we both die." He finally agrees not to speak to her. Then Jess goes with Dr. Bones. She tells herself to breathe and wakes up in her bed alone with the Dr. Bones doll. She prepares to go to work and teach her yoga class. Toward the end of the class, she realizes she's not seeing that entity in the hallway anymore. Afterwards, she goes to a coffee shop and sees Scott standing in the distance staring at her. Her last narration leads us to believe that she remembers what happened. I believe he does too. She's in disbelief when she realizes he's married to her best friend and they have children. You can see the disappointment in his face as he leaves, and her disappointment as well. She tells herself she has all the time in the world to find her happiness. It ends with the Dr. Bones children's show. I think Dr. Bones represented death, and I think she was seeing him toward the beginning because her time of death was approaching. And when she stopped it by going back in time and controlling her flashback, Dr. Bones followed her and gave her another chance. At the end, I believe they both remember the ordeal and think about what could have been. This was a 16-minute horror short on Netflix. I don't know if I would classify it as horror, but I would like to hear what you think in the comments.